We had an interview, a chat with Zillow Canada. I talked to Terry. She is the director of broker relations. We talked about Zillow, how it started, what type of business they're into, how it affected the real estate market in the US, and what they plan on doing in Canada. Hope you guys enjoy.
Well, what it is a marketplace of everything real estate, right? So not just new listings, but solds and rentals and new construction and lenders and...
So it sounded like Zillow, like it started as media based than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. And like everybody else, we've had to iterate and pivot and, as different models come into the marketplace so that we can maintain our relevance and maintain our traffic, we have to, entertain looking at those different things.
So this is Terry. She is head of broker relation?
Director
of broker relations.
Yeah, Western Canada.
For Western Canada. Zillow came to Canada was a year ago or?
We launched in October of 2018. Listings went live. We've been here, we've been in this office for a couple of years in Yaletown. So we launched across the country at the same time.
At the same time?
Yeah.
All right.
We are in the States. We've been there for going on 13 years and still headquartered in Seattle, but we have offices all over North America.
So how did Zillow get started?
Zillow got started by a couple of guys that used to run Expedia.ca, and they looked out the window one day downtown Seattle and they were looking at the different buildings and they're like, wouldn't it be fun if you could see the little bubbles pop up on the buildings and know what that property would be worth? And that's how they came up with the Zestimate. So they built the Zestimate algorithm and they launched it, and the day they launched it, the servers crashed, and they knew that they had something that consumers really wanted.
So the first day, as soon as they launched, there's so many people on it and
that want to know. People want to know, what is my house worth?
How's Zillow affected the US market?
How has it affected the market?
Yeah.
In terms of sales?
Sales and what realtors there think about Zillow and...
So this is a fun fact that I didn't know until recently. We have 97% coverage. So all listings essentially are live. We have relationships with virtually every MLS in the United States, and it's about 600, I believe, right now. Most of the stuff that I hear is just this common narrative that's, Zillow's bad and they take all your data and they give it, they sell listing leads back to you and all of that sort of the negative stuff that we tend to hear, but I don't think they really know what it is that they're complaining about. Less than 10% of realtors in the United States actually purchase advertising. The rest is free everything. So we offer free tools, free resources, free listing leads, anything that comes off of your listing on Zillow is completely yours. You can highlight different market areas that you work in and capture business that way. My boss out of Manhattan, his mother sells in Palm Springs, and she's never bought advertising, but she gets all kinds of business off of her Zillow. And I have all kinds of friends in the States that say they would never do business any other way. If you're getting a return on your investment, who cares?
I'm a big fan of advertising.
Yeah, me too. I used to sell radio advertising. Imagine trying to sell air. What's the rate of return on that? That was hard to measure. This is very easy to measure.
Your phone rings.
Your phone rings and you close a deal.
Then you
know it works.
Yeah.
Look, I used to teach digital marketing, but basically, marketing is marketing, and who cares how you do it? At the end game is are you making connections, right? So however you choose to do that is, I think, what everybody's trying to figure out.
Everything works. It's just what's the cheaper way of doing it right now. That's what it comes down to.
Well, are we looking for what's cheaper, or are we looking for, what's my net return?
Well, I think it's two things. I think it's what's cheaper, and also where could I hit the most amount of people? Where's the attention? Well,
attention is the hottest commodity right now, obviously, absolutely. And I think it's getting harder and harder to come by, and I think that how we beat over the heads by trying to get attention is getting more and more painful for the consumer. And so it is interesting to see where things are going. Things have changed radically over the last 10 years.
Well, we're seeing it over the last 2 years.
Yes.
Attention going from one social media over to another, right? And what's going to happen in the next 2 to 5 to 10 years, where all that attention is going to go to. How has Zillow made a difference in technology in real estate? Besides Googling and seeing what the value is fast.
There's some interest. So we have an entire machine learning, artificial intelligence department. We have 100 plus engineers, all really smart guys doing pretty amazing things. One of the things that they're doing right now, like in traditional search, we would draw like a circumference around an area that we want to search on.
Yeah.
Some of our machine learning is being able to calculate. I see that you've been looking at properties kind of all over the place, and there's no real pattern to that. But they're able to identify, they like, homes with views or water homes, or they like, look at this is all along sort of a major thoroughway, maybe that's like a commute. My guess is they will also like these other houses, and then we can serve those up to the client, much like Netflix delivers you movies that you might like to see based on your behaviors. We're able to do the same thing. So that kind of technology is pretty exciting to me. We have some NASA information that allows us to see the topography and be able to determine, what kind of view might they have out their front window based on sort of the lay of the land. So like they're looking from space, they're able to look at sort of the different lays of the land. If the house is pinned here in this spot, what is the topography in that area? I can literally determine from that whether or not they're going to have a view to the water or a view to the mountains or whatever. So another technology we just rolled out, which is a free app, it's 3D Home app, and it allows you, the agent, to stand in the room and do a 3D image. We stitch it all together and it goes live right to their listings, and now you've got this embedded rich media right inside that search field where you're looking at the photos. And
it's great.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Is that app out?
It is.
It is?
Yes, only on iOS right now.
Okay.
I think version 6 or better, but we're working on getting it all over. Here's another fun fact. Since the invention of the internet, more people actually work with agents than ever before. So what do we know about that? That means that, the more information we give them, the more guidance they actually need. So realtors aren't going away.
I don't think they're going away, but I think the masses probably will.
What I do think might happen is we'll see part-time agents who aren't really invested in their careers.
Bingo, those are the ones. I'm clear. Exactly.
I actually think that's good for the industry. I think that's good for the consumer.
And that's what it is. I think the ones that are out there hustling all the time and working, they're really busy.
They know their
they're
product.
Keep it, but
they're out there, they're seeing properties, they're negotiating deals, they're working with lots of different clients, they're experiencing different challenges, they're learning and they know how to run a business.
And that's probably 2 or 3 out of the office of 10.
Or
maybe a little higher.
It really is interesting where you go. I think there's a lot of really, and it shouldn't be based just on volume. I think there's some really great realtors who are very committed. But I think just the way that things are going and the speed at which they need to go is definitely shifting the landscape. And I don't think that's a Zillow thing.
No, it's a trend thing.
Right?
It's the younger generation getting older now, looking at purchasing, and I see a lot
that's
of them.
the millennials. So we talk about them all the time. I mean, when you think about it, millennials never known life without the internet. And how have they been conditioned to?
And then Gen Z is right here now. They're starting to get into the field now.
Exactly.
Right? They're turning 19, 20s very soon.
Right.
And there you go. There's another group that comes in, and they were born with internet, but they were born with internet plus social media on top of it for the last 10 years.
You bet. Very public.
Very
transparent.
Right?
Very on demand.
And I'm looking at them. They're searching everything there. They're not going open. I wonder if open houses. If there's a lot of traffic.
I think open houses will still absolutely happen. I think what will happen though is as you're doing virtual open houses, that's sort of just minimize. Like you still need. If I was your realtor, I'd say we have to see it. We're not going to write without seeing it. But having said that, it's going to we're going to save so much time by not going to this one or that one because we saw the virtual tour first.
Yeah, you've seen the virtual. You're not going to 10. You're just going to the one. And let's go. Let's take a look at it. Right.
Exactly. It's such a complicated transaction. It really is. That's why I don't think realtors are going anywhere.
No, but I think the numbers of the realtors are coming down.
I actually agree with that. I expect that that's probably true. But the market's slow as well. Like there's all kinds of conditions for why that would happen. There was a lot. The cycles are very common, and every time the market gets really hot, we always pick up a few more, and then when things die down a little bit, they drop off a little bit. Yeah, and that's just standard.
What's the feedback from realtors on Zillow?
Here?
Yeah.
We've had everything. We have a lot of people who are very afraid that this big bad American company is going to come in and disintermediate the realtor or turn into a brokerage or just erase business for the average hardworking realtor, which we don't want to do.
Which you can too.
Well,
Okay.
So here's the thing, our revenue, most of our revenue comes from our advertising. And our advertisers, our paying advertisers, our premier agents, they all make a return on their investment. And they're doing deals. And that is our entire model. We do have other models as well that we're also generating revenue from. In every model that we're operating, we are looking to partner with industry. We are doubling down on our industry relations. That's why I have a job. We have a huge department. We go around creating relationships with our broker partners and being there as a resource. And again, we cease to exist if industry isn't doing well. We're not in the business of real estate. We're a tech company, not like other companies that are coming into the marketplace that are actually brokerages and are very heavily funded. And to me, I love the industry. I come from industry. To me, that's a much bigger worry, looking at some of these very heavily funded, great tech platform sites that are coming. That to me is something I'm watching more carefully. That is kind of what we do really well, is we help sort of streamline that experience and make it a little less painful. That's the goal ultimately, is to take the real estate transaction, which we believe is still fairly painful, and try and smooth it out as much as possible.